Alfred Hitchcock's North by Northwest is an action-adventure movie, spy thriller, wrong man drama, suspense film romance, and comedy. It's arguably Hitchcock's most Hollywood-esque film. North by Northwest is, for a 1950s movie, rather raunchy. It pushes the limits of what the Hays Code censors of that era would allow, including a rather obvious comedic sexual reference as the very last shot of the film. It had a large budget, big-name actors, especially the legendary Cary Grant. The story setting spanned the nation, it had big set pieces, explosions, chases, and was the 1959 version of a mega blockbuster film. The movie was intentionally huge and fun. So let's talk about it. What makes this a standout Alfred Hitchcock film? What works, what holds up, and maybe where does it miss the mark a little bit? Before we get started, my name is Eric Wilfred Watson. You can find my thriller and science fiction novels at Amazon.com. I am an independent author, so every purchase is appreciated, and I thank everyone who reads my work. Also, please click those like and subscribe buttons and notification bell. It helps this channel quite a bit. Thank you. North by Northwest is a classic movie that has been analyzed, picked apart, studied under a microscope, prodded and poked from different directions for decades. If this movie were a person living in the United States, it would be old enough to be on Medicare. Instead of analyzing what has already been overanalyzed, I want to highlight some fun things about the movie, why I like it, even though a few things about the film, frankly, I didn't really care for. The thing I appreciate most about the movie is that Alfred Hitchcock has his bag of tricks, and he uses them, which is fantastic. He knows how to put together a story, visually speaking, and this movie is a very visually focused movie. It's good to look at, and Alfred Hitchcock gives you a lot of information through the visuals, which is fantastic. Hitchcock also uses the MacGuffin in this movie. Hitchcock popularized the MacGuffin, which is an object, often a physical thing, that is used as a plot device. MacGuffin has sort of a negative connotation now, but really it is a valuable storytelling tool. Think of the briefcase in the movie Pulp Fiction, the one ring to rule them all in Lord of the Rings, the Holy Grail in Monty Python and the Holy Grail or Indiana Jones 3. In this case, the MacGuffin was a little statue figurine with a little microfilm inside that spies wanted. What I love is that it almost doesn't matter what the MacGuffin is. The real plot of the movie is the mistaken identity of Cary Grant's character of Roger Thornhill, who is mistaken for a spy named George Kaplan. Roger Thornhill tried to clear his name and stay alive as the bad guys try to kill him several times. Why the bad guys want to kill Roger Thornhill, who they think this George Kaplan is kept intentionally vague. There's even a part of the movie where a US government agent tries to explain to Roger Thornhill what is going on as they're walking through an airfield, only to have the audio drowned out by an airplane engine, which I think is fantastic. Hitchcock is toying with the audience here. People want to know why the villains are after him, and the audience is never really given a satisfactory answer. Good for Hitchcock. I think that's great. I also appreciate the witty dialogue from Cary Grant's character. It makes the movie fun. It reminds me of the comedy they put in Marvel movies as a counterbalance to the action. And this movie, for its day, had a lot of really good action. The most famous scene of the movie is Cary Grant when he is chased by a crop duster airplane in the middle of an empty field. That was brilliantly set up and shot by Alfred Hitchcock, showing the scene and how isolated and desolate it was. So you really feel the danger when Cary Grant starts getting chased by that airplane. The movie culminates in a fight scene and a chase scene, literally on the face of Mount Rushmore. And there comes my basic criticism of the film. It has a little bit too much of an over-the-top tone. It's stuffed with just a little bit too much that makes it feel just a little bit unreal. The danger feels a little bit more cartoony than it should, and that is a little bit to the detriment of the movie, but that's very minor. Hitchcock is very good at making you feel what Cary Grant's character is feeling. It's just a little bit over the top. Hitchcock's previous movie, Vertigo, which I adore, is also a big spectacle and colorful movie. North by Northwest was even more so. I think that might be why Alfred Hitchcock's next movie, Psycho, was a smaller, darker, more intimate, and much more suspenseful film. I think that was a reaction by Hitchcock to North by Northwest. The romance in the movie is a little bit off-putting. Cary Grant was about 20 years older than the film's leading lady, and the romance seemed a little bit inappropriate and a little bit contrived. It wasn't completely believable that those two would get together, but that's a minor criticism. The best parts of the movie are the scenes where no one seems to believe Cary Grant and the whole world is against him. The movie is very good, but it seems just a little bit too contrived and a little bit too flamboyant. It is easily Hitchcock's biggest movie, but I don't think it's his best movie. Very good, excellent, a classic, but not quite top tier Hitchcock. What do you think? Do you think this is Hitchcock's best movie or one of his top movies? What Hitchcock movies do you prefer? Thank you very much for watching the Reaction Lounge channel. And again, my name is Eric Wilfred Watson, and you can find my books at Amazon.com and links in the description below.